Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Chamber's Equine Initiative here at Ocala Breeder Sales in the horse capital of the world, Ocala, Florida. We're actually here for the October yearling sale, but this is a great opportunity for us to bring you the coverage of the local connections to the Breeders' Cup races. The Breeders' Cup is the richest weekend in racing, and every single year so many of the horses have ties here to the Ocala area and often went through this Ocala Breeder Sale auction. And some were also bred in Florida. We thank Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care and Larson Farms for their sponsorship, and also thank Seminole Feed Stores and Ocala Dog Ranch, and of course Piranha, for helping us bring you all of these interviews from these wonderful local connections that show up again and again in the top stakes races in the world. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show. Enjoy the interviews. Looking for hay that's a cut above the rest? From field to feeder, Larson Hay delivers top quality, nutrient-packed hay your horses and livestock will love. And with the Larson family leading the way, you know every bale is made with integrity and care. Larson Hay weighs every bale so you can be confident that you're getting what you're paying for. No gimmicks and no small print, just the best hay you could ever feed your horses. Don't settle for just any bale, choose the cream of the crop since 1883. Visit larsonhay.com today, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show, Ocala Chamber's Equine Initiative, and also for the Equus Television Network. And we are doing our very special additional broadcast, which is the local Ocala Marion County connections to the Breeders' Cup World Championships. Every year there are so many horses involved in this richest weekend in horse racing in the USA. We love to come and find those folks, celebrate them, and honor all the work that they do to put a great foundation on these horses to get them started just right. And we are here at the very iconic and extremely beautiful Kinsman Farm, visiting here with Emily Dawson and their training program. Emily, it's lovely to have you with us.
Oh, I'm happy to be part of this. Thank you.
What an incredibly beautiful place to come to work every day.
It is, yeah. No, we love it. It's a wonderful place to start yearlings. They've lots of room to ride, and we love it here.
And just watching them this morning going around the paddock and just relaxing, head down, and just enjoying being a horse. And we like to share that with our listeners and followers as well, because a lot of people don't know what goes into starting these incredible thoroughbred horses, and seeing them just relaxed and hacking around is so nice.
Yeah, no, it's so important for them to get a good start.
Now, you've been here at Kinsman 10 years.
That's correct, yes.
This farm has got such an interesting history and great story, right? Owned by the Steinbrenner family, very, very well known, obviously, and named, interestingly, over where his family, a German family, actually settled in Cleveland, and Kinsman's named after the road.
That's correct, and I'm actually from Cleveland as well, so another interesting connection.
Yes.
And I believe they had a shipbuilding company as well in Cleveland, so that was also connected to the name Kinsman.
Yeah, that's fantastic, amazing, and this farm has a very rich history, obviously.
Yep.
Training about 80 horses here at the moment.
That's correct. Yep.
A lot to take care of. Incredible to see the work going on here this morning. But we're going to focus in a little bit now on a horse that is going to run in the juvenile turf. Intricate Spirit.
Yep.
By complexity, out of Dottie's Spirit. Incredible, won the first race out, right?
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about training Intricate Spirit and kind of what you saw in him as a young horse.
Really straightforward, great mind on him. You know, as we got a little further along, you know, quite powerful. I think we kind of focused on keeping everything in check and not letting him do too much too soon.
Isn't that so important? That's such an important part of the process, I think, is when you have a horse that's really going to be a star like him, not letting them get ahead of themselves.
That's correct. Yeah. But no, I mean, he was really fun to watch train and bring along, and he was purchased by Christophe Clement, who is really my mentor, and sadly passed away this year. So it's, you know, extra special that he's done so well, and you know, we're just so happy for the connections and for Miguel Clement, who's done such a good job with him.
Yes, so for those that don't know, we lost Christophe Clement this year, sadly, and his son Miguel is actually now training this horse. So it would be nice to see him do really well.
Yeah, no, we're so proud of him already. So
absolutely, I mean, my gosh. So he started out winning his very first race. Then he went in a big allowance race that he did really well in and came second. I think that was at Kentucky Downs.
Yeah.
And then he won the Futurity at Belmont. And that was the win and you're in, because that's the win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Turf. So he's going in the juvenile turf. So this is a very exciting career for him to have gone from that summertime win to being in the Breeders' Cup.
That's great. Yep.
Pretty impressive.
We're thrilled. So it'll be fun to watch, and it's fun for all of the employees on the farm. We've got such a great group of grooms and riders, and they all work so hard, so it's fun to follow the success. And
when Jenna Rovera, who of course is a dear friend, shared with us that she had actually ridden him during his training time, I thought that was pretty exciting.
That's
an
special.
exciting connection.
Yeah, she broke him and rode him for most of the season. Did a really great job with him.
It does make a difference, doesn't it? I mean, we talk a lot about the foundation of a horse and that start and how you are with them, from handling them in the stall to bathing to grooming to saddling to that very first time that a human sits on that horse, and how important the energy and the behavior and just the treatment, how all of that goes into how that horse feels about being ridden.
Absolutely. We try and keep their routine the same groom all season, same paddock. So, you know, they do well with the consistent routine, and you know, just a lot of good hands that have dealt with them. So
that really matters. Now, from that yearling to 2-year-old year, can you set them apart, or is it too hard at that stage to say, oh, this one's going to really, I mean, it's a long way to go before the track, but can you really see when a horse is special at that point?
It's hard to know exactly what they're going to do. I mean, we try and just keep them happy and sound, and really going forward, that's for the next step. You know, we can think that they're going to do really well. Sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong. So,
but you definitely saw straightforward, easy to work with, a good, happy horse.
Sure. When he stretched his legs, it kind of took your breath away. You're like, whoa, that's cool.
You know, I'll never forget when the McCathan brothers told me that the first time American Pharaoh breezed, they were like, slow down. You know,
sure.
Like, it's those great horses that you see,
right,
you know,
right.
And they're all
Sure.
wonderful, and they're all going to go and do a great job, especially when they get a good start.
Yep.
But we love to see them make it to those big grade ones.
If it gives you goosebumps, it's usually a good sign that it's a nice horse. But, you know, it's still, you know, the very early stages that we're doing with them, and, you know, it's not till they get to, you know, he left us, I think, end of May. So then Miguel took over and really...
And has done a great job.
Yeah, done a fantastic job. So he left us end of May and went to Saratoga, and then rest is history. So
it's amazing. Well, he went from good hands to good hands.
Absolutely.
So we're going to just watch him through that whole process, hopefully all the way to the winner's circle.
Yep, let's hope. Yep.
Will you be there for the race?
I'm not. No,
You'll be here working.
A little too busy. Yeah, I don't think I'm going anywhere till May.
So you'll be watching it probably at home. And,
Absolutely,
and we'll be definitely cheering
for sure.
Intricate Spirit on.
Right,
so
right.
Exciting stuff.
Thank
you so much for having us here.
Thank you. Yeah, happy to be part of it.
Wonderful to celebrate these local connections. A lot of times we focus on where they were born and who bred them, and all that is great, and it's certainly an important part of the process. But when we call it a horse a grad from a certain farm, we absolutely give that farm credit for how that process has started. So well done, and hats off to you and your team doing such a great job giving that horse just what it needed to be great in its career.
Well, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Emily Dawson here at Kinsman Farm. Beautiful, iconic, and now we're really excited about the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Race. So watch out for Intricate Spirit. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Ocala Dog Ranch offers a variety of services for your dog, including agility training, barn hunt training, board and train, boarding long and short term, daycare, day training, dock diving training and competitions, disc dog, swimming lessons and pool rentals, lure coursing and obedience training classes. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch at ocaladogranch.com. Ocala Dog Ranch is your home away from home for your dog and more.
The most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Chamber's Equine Initiative here at Ocala Breeder Sales for the October yearling sale, and ran into George Isaacs, General Manager of Bridlewood Farm. George, it's lovely to catch up with you.
Well, as well.
I know you're a busy man, got a lot going on.
Well, glad to be here at the yearling sale, and hoping the best for positive yearling sales for OBS.
That's right. So Bridlewood Bridlewood Farm has had its name attached to many, many famous horses over the years. But looking towards the Breeders' Cup Championships, World Championships coming up now very, very soon, it's been a very exciting year for Bridlewood, with a couple of absolutely exceptional horses that have come out of your early training program. Hats off to your trainer, who has done such a phenomenal job. Talk to us a little bit about this year and about kind of working our way towards the Breeders' Cup now.
Well, so we'll step back to 2013 when the Malones bought Bridlewood Farm, and part of the plan was to recapitalize and rebrand the farm and try to make Bridlewood training a great training destination for end user clients at the highest level, and try to achieve world-class results. And little by little we've been doing that a little better each year, and we've had tremendous success off the program. Now, one of our main clients, and we can't keep that private because these horses run, on Saturdays and win Grade 1. So Godolphin is certainly one of our biggest clients, or our biggest training supporting client, and they have great horses to work with. And our trainer, Meta Murphy, does an exceptional job with all the horses in her care. And what I would say about her and her program and her team is we try to treat every horse as an individual, and we plan a training program to allow that horse to develop at their own pace, so that they can have every opportunity, or they can have every opportunity to excel and to run to their God-given ability. And for that reason, we've achieved some great results because we train for very good clientele that literally are not only breeding, but some of them are going and buying some of the best blood stock in the world, and we're getting to work with that type of blood stock. So, you know, I would just say that we're just trying to do our job every day, and we all try to do our job well, and we're seeing the fruits of our labor. But, you know, this particular year has been, you know, extremely gratifying because, you know, obviously to be involved with the top 2 3-year-old colts in the country is just, you know, you can pinch yourself and say, well, wow, how could that happen? And, you know, I mean, I've been quoted having said this several times, but as we went into the Derby with the favorite, you know, I said to the, you know, to the Darley team, I said, guys, I said, you know, listen, I'll just say it like it is. You know, I sure hope we can win this afternoon, but if we can't win, I sure hope you do. Well, you know, I guess I had to eat those words, and then I've had to eat them another time since then, but you know, we hope that role gets reversed in the Classic. And listen, we're all competitors, and, you know, we all represent our own matriarchs or patriarchs, and, you know, we're trying to raise good horses. We're trying to, you know, compete at the highest level, and, you know, naturally the Malones have invested a lot of money in Bridlewood, and, you know, it would have been super special if we could have won the Derby for the Malones. And, you know, and when I say that, I would also almost say that we were winning it for the Appletons as well, because, you know, we kept the farm name, we kept the same farm silks, and, you know, we've honored the legacy that the Appleton family started in 1976. And, you know, that's going to always be our, you know, our mission, is to keep honoring that legacy and to make those, you know, those red apples, those silks look proud in the winter circle.
That's right. So sovereignty and journalism, what an amazing year for 2 exceptional horses. Very, very exciting, obviously, seeing them against one another. One, of course, owned by Bridlewood in part, and one, of course, started at your farm and went through your early training program there. So obviously both got a fantastic foundation and a great start with your trainer there. And we've just seen them just excel and race against each other and outrun the other. And it's just been really exciting to see that happen.
Yeah, and it certainly has. And what I think's really neat is the fact that these are 3-year-olds. And, you know, some people might say that these 3-year-olds are, you know, as good as any of the older horses out there. And we're sure going to find out here pretty soon on November 1st. But what I like about the whole idea is that those older horses are all going to stud. So next year you're going to have sovereignty and journalism, good Lord willing, facing off and really having a, you know, a nice rivalry for races that should continue on in 2026, and we're sure super excited about that.
That's wonderful. I was just chatting to April Mayberry about Beza earlier on, and she said, you know, it's no shame for Beza to come third to those 2, because my gosh, they've been exceptional.
You know, when I did my handicapping at the Derby, Beza was in my trifecta. That was, I would say, the easiest trifecta that anybody could ever have to come up with. And, you know, I saw Beza almost beat us at Santa Anita in the Santa Anita Derby. So I saw what that horse was capable of, and he was certainly trained by, you know, a very good trainer, and certainly got his pre-training at a great place. And so, you know, it's easy to say those are the top 3 colts in the country.
For sure, for sure. George, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us. Congratulations on really an exceptional year, and just looking forward to the Breeders' Cup. We wish you the absolute very best, safest trips, good luck. We would love to see you guys in the winner's circle again.
Well, thank you. We hope we are, and glad we finally got to do an interview.
Me too. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Chamber's Equine Initiative, talking about the very exciting upcoming Breeders' Cup Championships. Looking for hay that's a cut above the rest? From field to feeder, Larson Hay delivers top quality, nutrient-packed hay your horses and livestock will love. And with the Larson family leading the way, you know every bale is made with integrity and care. Larson Hay weighs every bale so you can be confident that you're getting what you're paying for. No gimmicks and no small print, just the best hay you could ever feed your horses. Don't settle for just any bale, choose the cream of the crop since 1883. Visit larsonhay.com today, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Chamber's Equine Initiative here with the very famous April Mayberry of Mayberry Farm. And gosh, like every year we have to track her down, right, for the top stakes races, because you always have horses that make it to the top. Every year in the stakes races, it's trained by, started by a grad of Mayberry Farm. What do you attribute that to, April?
I think it's just a whole team effort. Well, I know it's a whole team effort. From picking them out and buying them, to the trainers they go to the guys on the farm, the assistants. It's just a team effort all the way around. I mean, everything has to work and point in the right direction at all times.
So it's the foundation and the whole team, the
yes.
village, right? Correct.
It takes a village. Yes.
So we're at OBS today. We're actually at the October yearling sale, where these horses so often go through this auction and end up in the highest echelon of racing, which is so exciting. And this year we've had some phenomenal horses that have gone through Ocala, gone through OBS. One of those horses that has been really in the spotlight is Beza.
Yes, I mean, when we bought him, it was a new crop, so we took a shot, buying first year sire, but his pedigree, I was...
Puka.
Yes.
Had some amazing...
Dornoch,
yeah,
Mage. So
yes.
It was, I'd like to take more credit, but it was pretty much a no-brainer. So here we are.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So we've watched him, third in the Derby, third in the Belmont, against really tough competition. And what I've seen of him is he just continues to get better and better.
Well, and that's what I like. He's a very late foal, and he was very immature.
When was he born? What month?
He's a May foal.
May, yeah.
And later May foal. And it was just one of those things that even through the breaking process, he was so smart, but still very immature. Like, he would do whatever you asked of him, but he wasn't sure why he was doing it, So I think it's taken him a little longer than some of the competition he's been with, and I think that's a real upside for him. Like, every start he's gotten better and better. He has not gotten to the ceiling yet. So.
And there's nothing to be ashamed of being third in the Derby and the Belmont against the horses that we've had run this year, because we have 100%. Had some hot competition, haven't we?
I've read in more than one place, poor Baeza born in the wrong year. I'm still going to hold out hope that that's not going to be that true a statement when all's said and done.
This is very true. I think the crop this year has been incredible, watching
them
and him running right there with them and not far behind and just blooming and getting better and better.
Yeah.
I think the Breeders' Cup's going to be very exciting for him.
It's going to be super exciting. What a field. So
I know, really.
And that's kind of home team advantage for him too, which I'm very happy about.
Yes, exactly. So exciting. So we're talking about the Breeders' Cup, obviously, because that's what we're looking forward to right now. But not long after that, we're going to start looking at next year for the Kentucky Derby. And you have a rather exciting horse that's just won by 7 lengths. That is a very exciting juvenile, right?
Which I'm sure you're very happy about his name also.
I am rather. Englishman.
Which I love. I think that's the greatest name. I love that name, and it suits that horse. And again, he was just, some of them make it easier than others. And he was one of the farm favorites, my favorites, one of them on the farm that year. And he just does everything. He did everything you asked of him. Just a quiet, unassuming horse. And I know I loved him. I couldn't wait to see him run. But I was pleasantly surprised by how he did it. It was really, it was impressive. Yes. It was exceptional, and I was like, wow.
I was just congratulating you on Beza, and you were like, yeah, but look at this too. Yeah. And I'm like, oh good, we can be excited for next year too.
Yeah, so, and Cherie's done a great job with them. So we'll see. We'll see what's next.
Exciting. It's always exciting to talk about your grads because they always do so well. I could go all the way back to Zenyatta. and so many others that have excelled that have come out of your program. And I feel like if you don't give them a good start, they aren't going to excel, and you always give them the best possible start, you and your team.
We really try to, if you listen to them, they'll tell you what they need and what they don't need. And really just try to get out of their way. Just give them the foundation and the knowledge of what they're, to make them use the ability they have, That's
Not
it.
just that, April, but I see you love on them too, and I don't care what anybody says, it matters.
It does matter. It does matter. That they feed off, the confidence is what they need. And, it's a saying, we can't make a bad horse good, but we can get out of the good horse's way and give them the tools they need.
So important.
Yeah.
You always excel. Mayberry Farm always excel.
Thank you so much.
We love you guys.
Thank you. We love you too.
Very excited, looking forward to the Breeders' Cup to see Beza, who is getting better and better and better. I think he could possibly beat the best.
Fingers crossed.
And we're very excited, looking forward to what Englishman's going to do next, and you can't beat that name. So, Louisa Barton for our very special Breeders' Cup coverage here at Ocala Breeder Sales in the horse capital of the world with one of the very best.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at seminolefeed.com.
The most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
Ocala Dog Ranch offers a variety of services for your dog, including agility training, barn hunt training, board and train, boarding long and short term, daycare, day training, dock diving training and competitions, disc dog, swimming lessons and pool rentals, lure coursing and obedience training classes. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch at ocaladogranch.com. Ocala Dog Ranch is your home away from home for your dog and more. Louisa Barton for the Chamber's Equine Initiative, the Horse Talk Show and the Equus Television Network. And I am here in sunny Morriston at Pleasant Acres Farm, home of course for the famous horse Precious Passion and many other incredible Florida breds who had their start right here, were born right here and bred right here by the Barbizon family. Hats off to Joe and Helen Barbizon on all their incredible achievements. But this year we're rather excited about Lenny Lou. 2-year-old Lenny Lou has won 4 out of 5 starts, only being beaten so far in 1 race at Royal Ascot, and we were there for it in the Queen Mary Stakes. I didn't know you were at Royal Ascot when I was at Royal Ascot, but I was very excited when I saw that a Florida bred that came from not very far from us right now made it across the pond to run against the top horses in the world.
Well, I think we were as shocked as anybody else, because if you would have told me 3 months ago I was going to London and watch a horse I bred run in the Royal Ascot, I would have said you're crazy. So it all came together so quickly, and it was so much fun. I mean, if I was going to take a trip, it would be for going to watch my horse race. And being as she ran 3rd against some of the best horses on the planet, I think that was just icing on the cake. I mean, wow. She really, and she's little. Yeah. She's not a big girl. No. She is a little feisty thing, but she's very smart. And, you know, we just love her. I mean, she's just the cutest thing, and I just can't believe she pulled it off. Really, I can't.
Do you remember her as a really young foal? Was she just a standout?
Yeah, no, not really. No, she was always small, and we, you know, we sold her as a yearling, and she was small. She was nothing that I would have said, okay, she's going to be the next great. No, she wasn't, you know, but you just never know. Those are the things you don't know, and I, you know, we couldn't have done it without our employees and everybody that worked so hard for us.
And it's nothing to be ashamed of coming 3rd in the Queen Mary Stakes at Royal Ascot either. So looking towards the juvenile turf sprint now at the Breeders' Cup World Championships, we are very excited, although at the moment not the favourite. but we think she's going to do really, really well, and we're really excited as we get closer and closer, and as we celebrate those Ocala, Marion County connections, we get most excited about the Florida bred. So we wish all the best to Lenny Lou, certainly to the Barbizon family who've done such an incredible job as breeders, and we'll keep you posted. You know, we might see Lenny Lou in the winner's circle. And we're at another iconic farm, Ocala Stud. We're very excited, looking forward to the Breeders' Cup Classic, Fierceness running again. We have talked to David O'Farrell. What were some things that you noticed about him? He's got a great name.
He was really straightforward. He never turned a hair. He never really grabbed your attention in a good way or a bad way. He just kind of did his job day in and day out. And, you know, we're really, what we do at the farm is build a foundation for the horse. So it's a slow process. And he was just mentally really good. And just never really did anything out of the ordinary. He was so routine. And those are the kinds that you really like to see, that like their job, they're consistent, and they don't really grab your attention a whole lot for doing anything out of the ordinary.
Right.
So
we like when it's not out of the ordinary,
exactly.
don't we?
Yeah, no, so he's a really nice horse, and you know, he had a couple really good weeks when we started to do a little bit of speed work with him before we sent him into Todd, and he started to really grab our attention then.
Yeah, what an incredible horse he really has matured into. We're very excited for that Ocala connection, of course, to the Breeders' Cup Classic, which is certainly one of the most exciting races in the Breeders' Cup World Championships coming up very soon. Also want to mention a horse that is possibly going to be a serious contender in the mare and filly sprint, and that is R Disaster. That is the letter R and then the word disaster. And that is a Florida bred horse. We always give those a shout out. Bred by Ocala Stud and Michael O'Farrell. So we're looking at both of those horses and all the other exciting connections to all of the races at the Breeders' Cup World Championships. There's always lots of horses. We've got some other Florida breds, and then of course some grads of their program, just like Fierceness, who is a grad of their early training program right here at Ocala Stud. So we want to share all of those local connections with you to each one of the races. Friday being the Future Stars Friday, where we see so many of the juveniles running in the races with connections here. Also, of course, always looking forward to that juvenile dirt race to see who might possibly be a serious contender for the Kentucky Derby. It's early to be thinking about that yet for May next year, but we certainly like to look at those connections now. And then, of course, Saturday being the Older Horses Day and the day that the Classic runs. And the Breeders' Cup World Championship so often decides which thoroughbred will be Horse of the Year. So we are definitely going to keep you posted. We're going to be right there at the Breeders' Cup in Del Mar. So we'll be sharing all of that with you and all of the excitement of these incredible races, really showcasing the finest thoroughbreds in the world. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show. Looking for hay that's a cut above the rest? From field to feeder, Larson Hay delivers top quality, nutrient-packed hay your horses and livestock will love. And with the Larson family leading the way, you know every bale is made with integrity and care. Larson Hay weighs every bale so you can be confident that you're getting what you're paying for. No gimmicks and no small print, just the best hay you could ever feed your horses. Don't settle for just any bale, choose the cream of the crop since 1883. Visit larsonhay.com today, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Thank you so much for joining us for this very special Breeders' Cup Local Connections to Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world, brought to you by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care and Larson Farms. We also want to thank Ocala Dog Ranch, Seminole Feed Stores, and Piranha Animal Health for supporting these interviews and this very important coverage. We didn't cover them all, we never get them all, but you know we'll be sharing with you in the coming days and weeks all of the coverage of the Breeders' Cup from Del Mar this year. So we're very excited to be there, and we're very excited to bring you all of our amazing claims to fame that always come back right here to Ocala. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Chambers Equine Initiative.